Hey, Coach DJ from Infinity TV. Just returning from a long road trip, what are your top action items for this game, especially against Washington, who's in a similar position as us?
Um, First, glad to be home.
Welcome back.
And, that 9 games and 18-day stretch was hard, and obviously with some adversity with injuries and illnesses that came through that road trip. But since the Commissioner Cup break, we've had some practices, which, feel good about. We had a few practices before we played Phoenix. I thought that equated to a first half that really looked like we had practiced and had some intent. And while we couldn't sustain it and didn't have the third quarter we'd like, you could tell that a young group got to practice. So to segue into tonight's game, we've now had 2 practices for Washington, same kind of thing. I hope that equates into we are playing with intent. There's a game plan that we're sticking to. Now, can we sustain it for the 40 minutes? That will be, what we're looking for. And less slippage, both sides of the ball, less slippage in some of our defensive schemes and coverages, less slippage in or lapses in turnovers that are live ball turnovers that are hurting us. So, just excited. You rarely got to practice in that 18-game stretch or 18-day stretch. So to have 4 practices in a week is a lot in this cadence of season, and I hope that it continues. I just feel so much better getting on the floor, being able to teach this young group.
Thank you.
What's going on, Sparks fans, and welcome back to another episode of The Spark, my personal fan commentary podcast for the LA Sparks. You already know me. I'm DJ Trice, and welcome back to my YouTube channel for yet another episode to talk about WNBA basketball, specifically about your Los Angeles Sparks. It has been a tough season. I feel like I said that last year, but we knew that we were in a rebuilding season. We knew that there were a lot of new players that were going to be in the rotation and in the fold. We didn't know that there was going to be such injury and hardship this season. But you know what? Same thing happened last season. And Coach Miller in the press conference also talked about how it seems that he's so far here in his career in LA, he's been riddled with hardship, everybody being out kind of thing. Cameron Brink suffered that ACL. We just got back we played 1 game back in crypto.com arena, back from that long road trip where we took some L's. We've lost 8 of our past 10 games. Losing 8 games straight is a new Sparks record. That doesn't break my heart. Again, things have to fall apart to fall together, in my opinion. And the last game was a little bit heartbreaking. We played against the Washington Mystics on July 2nd and lost that game 82-80. We were up 16 points in the third quarter, and somehow that lead just slid. Coach Miller was not happy about it just because of those small things that keep happening, right? Those little defensive breakdowns that kind of cause those points to stack on you there. But the Washington Mystics aren't a better team than us. And luckily in the WNBA, everybody every night gets a chance to win. The competition in between teams is so close that it could be anybody's game any night. Unfortunately, the Washington Mystics came out on top. They were on fire from outside the 3-point line, which is something that Coach Miller in the pregame presser talked about knowing. He said they only have 4 wins. We have 4 wins. We gave them their 5th win. But he said in all 4 games that they won, they shot over 40% outside of the 3-point line. And right out of the gate, that's what was happening with us. We were exchanging threes back and forth. But you can't do that with a team like Washington. You have to play great defense. They didn't even have Carly Samuelson in, which is another one of their great shooters. But we just couldn't get the job done. Stephanie Talbot hit a game almost closer. I want to call it a game winning. It was a great shot. I still went crazy even though I knew we were going to lose, because it was like, be competitive up until the last minute, which is what we have seen our Sparks do, which is what we are known for, which is what we are super good at, is just being competitive this whole time. So there are a lot of great things that we can take from some of these losses as we continue to build. De'Erica Hamby has been named an all-star for the 3rd time. Congratulations to De'Erica Hamby. She's done an amazing job and has been having an MVP-ish kind of season. She does get to play in the Olympics because of Cameron Brink's ACL tear. So De'Erica Hamby is our star right now. She is doing a phenomenal job and has some opportunity to play some Olympic basketball in 3-on-3 and bring home a gold medal. That's a positive. Another positive is Ari McDonald is really settling in with the Sparks. She has been starting as a point guard and has been doing a phenomenal job of protecting the ball, bringing the ball up, and creating some offensive opportunities for us to score against teams that it might be hard to compete against. So we've seen Ari McDonald really step up and have assists. She's had a 15-point game, a 14-point game. I mean, she's really done her thing in just scoring double digits and getting some assists to get the ball to other players. Stephanie Talbot. You've heard me talk about her on this podcast a lot, and you've heard me talk about her on the LA Sparks Weekly Show. That's a player that kind of came out of nowhere. For us, at least. She's on the Australian Olympic team. She will be playing in the Olympics for Australia, but she has 17 points in the game against Washington. Stephanie Talbot has been coming in and just doing those small basketball things that are affecting change. She's getting rebounds. She's taking the ball up. Her shots haven't been super great from the outside of the three-point line, but she is taking shots, which is important. Instead of turning the ball over, she's taking shots and contributing. Last game, she scored 17 points with her game high. So looking forward to seeing more from Stephanie Talbot. Some things that we're also looking forward to. Azarae Z. Stevens has been out. She had to have surgery on her shoulder earlier in the offseason. She was just warming up. It's looking like she's going to come back before the Olympic break. I'm not sure which game she's going to play in. Hopefully she plays in the game tonight against the Las Vegas Aces because we could use her size and her skill. She's been warming up. She's been playing full contact in practice. Azarae will be coming back soon. So that's another forward that can add to some of our success and can play with Rakia, the rookie who's been having some great games, but you just need some veteran leadership out there. Some things that have kind of been unforeseen things that have happened for us. We talked about signing Queen Egbo in a hardship contract. She joined the team over the road trip. Unfortunately, she was waived before coming back home to play against the Mystics. So we no longer have Queen on that hardship contract. Just recently here, we signed Crystal Dangerfield, who was recently waived from the Atlanta Dream. She's now here with the Sparks, and hopefully we'll see her play a little bit tonight against the Las Vegas Aces. I'm not sure how much practice she got in yesterday, which they did have practice on the 4th of July. I asked about that. I was very shocked. But evidently in the sports world, there's no fireworks and barbecues, which is crazy to me, but the girls are still out there practicing. One thing I do want to talk about that kind of caught us off guard was Lexi Brown is out. We know she's been battling Crohn's disease. She's been out the last couple of games just with illness. She got sick over the road trip, which Coach Kurt Miller revealed to us inside of the press conference. So Lexi's out as of June 27th for the unforeseeable future. Many, many thoughts and prayers out to Lexi as she's living with this disease, right? This is not an injury where it's like, all right, cool. Are you better now? This is something that she's going to continue battling. She's back. She's been back on Gil's Arena. So at least she's still talking about basketball and doing some things that are in her normal rotation. We would love to see Lexi play, but we want Lexi healthy. We would much prefer that Lexi Brown is living a comfortable life than we're out working her and making her uncomfortable out on the court. Sparks have got some work to do. Very frustrating loss against the Washington Mystics. I jokingly put up a podcast episode a couple weeks ago that said, at least we're not the Mystics. Unfortunately, we're worse than the Mystics right now. So things can always get worse, but no worries here. Keep it locked. The Sparks are having a rough season, but I'm excited to see how we work through this hardship. And for all of you fans out there that are fair weather fans and are leaving early before the game's end and deciding not to come out, you know, it really shows what kind of fan you are when the team is doing this. And I talk about this a lot when I talk about the Lakers and all of LA sports. I want to say Sparks so bad. All of LA sports. It's like when the team is not good, the people aren't showing up. I don't like that. If you're going to ride with a team, this is the basketball that you wanted. We talk about super teams and teams getting together and people just not wanting to grow with the franchise. You as a fan should be willing to grow with the franchise, right? We started over. We lost Neko Ogwumike, which was our last all-star player from the championship team, right? We don't have any other players on the team who won that championship with us last. So rebuild with us. We've got a new staff. We've got a new coach. A lot of people already in season 2 are like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He hasn't had a consistent player roster so far, including last season and this season. So it's like, have we really seen what Coach Miller can do? No, we haven't. Have we really seen what these players can do? No. You know, we didn't even really get to see what Cameron Brink did before she was out. Rickea Jackson, we're seeing a lot of her growth here, and I'm really proud for her for stepping up. In that Washington game, she had a couple unfortunate missteps with just easy missed layups and things like that, but she's a rookie. You expect that to happen from rookie. She's still holding her own. She's still doing a great job. And when I talk to the players, talk to Ari and De'Erica after the game against the Mystics, and you know, I'm like, how do you recover from a loss like this? What do you go in the locker room and tell the team? And they kept saying, it's just the next game. You have to always be able to wipe the slate clean, not get too high up, not get too low down, and go to the next game. So as fans, I'm doing a call to action to you. Don't get too high up. Don't get too low down. Let's rock with our Sparks and watch this interesting season as it unfolds, and we try to compete and we try to dig our way out of this deficit. There are teams who are doing better than us, but right now, just watching this team come together and seeing what kind of pieces they put together is super exciting basketball, and we're keeping it competitive. So definitely still come out to the games. Keep watching it. Tonight, today is Friday, July 5th. We'll be playing the Las Vegas Aces. It'll be on Ion at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'll be at the game, of course, on the court with the LA Sparks weekly show. Tonight, we'll have a special guest. Michael Matthew won't be joining me. So tap in. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at DJ Trice and follow the LA Sparks Weekly page on Instagram as well at LA Sparks Weekly. We always have some cool things that are happening to the game there. Of course, if you follow my stories, you'll see all the behind the scenes access there. Thank you so much for tuning in to the LA Sparks weekly show and helping me out on there. We're trying to get that show to be an official show with the Sparks. So y'all continuing to listen and show me love there is amazing. But my home team on my YouTube channel, thank y'all. I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers. I've been talking basketball here for a while. So thank you so much for tapping in with DJ Trice on all platforms and listening to The Spark, my personal fan commentary podcast for the LA Sparks. For those of y'all that are listening in audio, come on over to my YouTube. You can watch me on video. There's other shorts on there and all kinds of other content. So if you like what you're hearing from DJ Trice, make sure you come to my YouTube channel. That's where you can follow everything if you just listening in your car and on the audio. Thank y'all so much, Sparks fans. And I will talk to you again after this weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. We got 2 games, one on Friday and one on Sunday. I'll see you then. And until then, go Sparks.